just going to talk about sponsors and stuff to start with. Well, welcome back, Raider Nation, to game number 2 in a best-of-3 series in the second round of the GHSA State Fast Pitch Softball Tournament, as your Lady Raiders are playing host to Region 4 AA, the second seed, Screven County Lady Gamecocks. We took game 1 2-0. I don't want to say it was a nail-biter. It was a little closer than we all wanted, but the Lady Raiders allowed 2 to get on in the 7th with no outs, and they got out unscathed to take that huge game 1 victory in the best-of-3 series, as we'll play game 2 here in just a few moments. We don't know exactly what the lineups are going to look like just yet, excuse me, or who's going to be on the mound for either game. But first want to, let me introduce myself. Brent Johnson. I'm here with Aubrey Carter, who did a fantastic job in game 1 if you were with us, while I had to be absent for the first portion of the game a little bit there. Carson Taylor is producing our show, freshman at Bacon County High School. Aubrey is a former graduate, 2016 graduate of Bacon County High School, and he is a coach assistant on the football team this season, as he is going to college to be an educator and hopefully be a coach as well. Now, I want to kind of set the plate here. This is the Sweet 16. If we win game 2 or game 3, if we were to split, we will advance, or one of these two teams are advancing to Columbus next week in the Elite 8 to hopefully have a chance to play for a state championship. And that's the goal. We got one in our pocket, and we need one more. We'd like to see that happen tonight. In game 2, you'll notice something a little different. If you weren't with us last week, here in game 2, the Lady Raiders will be the away team. So don't get that confused with our name being on top on the score bug, or the fact that we'll be batting first here in the top of the first inning. And, again, we're hoping to sweep our way to the Elite 8 next week. I haven't heard a final on the Jeff Davis Harlem series. The last we saw, it was JD lost 5-1 in game 1, and they were up 2-0 early in the second game, hoping to force a game 3. And that's where our region stands. I hadn't heard anything from Vidalia either. The teams are warming up on the field, as you see, as Harlem is still throwing there, beginning to take the field defensively. And, again, we will be batting. Taz will lead off. Zoe Hodges will be on deck. And I'm sure AJ will be in the hole awaiting. We're going to take a quick break here. I first want to mention our title sponsors for the athletic school year this year. And first being, no particular order, Family Vision Care of Alma, Andy Cawthorn Auto Sales, and Coley Electric and Plumbing Supply of Alma. And you'll see some commercials and some slates and things and that such with numbers and names and contact information. I encourage you to go by and visit these people if they can help you in any way locally. Support your local business that support us, not just me and our broadcasting, but that support local athletics here in Alma and Bacon County. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the first pitch of game 2. What was her name again? Game 1.
Kara Cornetto.
Cornetto. She is the ace for them, and she's going to start game 2 as the lights are on.
And didn't have a bad game in the first game.
She did not. She pitched very well. Had a couple. There was a couple errors in the field, and then she had maybe a pass ball or two that advanced some runners into scoring position that allowed just a couple hits for the Raiders to put 2 on the board, and that was enough in game 1. We'll see. Sometimes I've seen it, a tight one in the first game and just a slaughter in the second, where just a lot of runs could be scored. And there's one of those high outside pitches we've seen, some of that in game 1 as Taz comes to the plate. And she finished that game off with a base hit which I think she needed as she walked and struck out her first couple at bats, and she's just been lights out. And she slams this one to the third baseman, and as you said, snow coned it there as she caught it at the apex there and was able to throw her out at first for the first out of this inning. Again, a fairly solid defensive team. They had, a couple errors that first game, but that's what I was most impressed with these Our Lady Raiders is our defense. Man, just no errors, and really there was no not even close to being an error. We just played very solid defense, and we got some really good pitching by Bree Harper, and then a couple key hits and able to get a couple runs in.
Didn't have a whole lot of hits, just had a couple really given to us.
I think they out-hit us 4-3. Got a new umpire, and you never know what type of strike zone he's going to have. The previous umpire, if you weren't with us, he kind of liked it low in the zone.
Could totally change the game.
It can, and that has to be a strike there.
It's going to be 2-1. Hodge is up now for the Raiders.
AJ on deck. I spoke with her momentarily after the game, congratulated her on the win, and also this ball is slammed to right field.
She's burnt.
That's toast. That's extra bases. We think alike. It's going to be at least
3. Well, yeah, she is going to try for 3. We're going to have a
play,
and
she
she's
held
run
up.
down.
Why did she stop? And she's going
Second
to
run down of the game now. Zoe's going to get caught by Cornetto.
Yeah, in the
tagged
pickle.
In the helmet.
Yeah, you got to be watching. I wasn't watching her. I was watching the ball. You have to keep your eye on your coach. Either coach is going to have you hold up or she's going to have you come. And, it's you have to be paying attention. And that was I tell you what, the only issue, we had one issue like that in the first game. We had a base running issue that ended our inning prematurely. I think it was the inning where we scored. But those are the types of things that you've got to try to avoid in games like this. So that was a double erased by a base running error there. And
nice relay.
That's the second out of the inning. Sometimes it's a stand-up double, and you try to bite off a little more than you. I think she was paying attention to the ball and not necessarily the coach. Again, I can't verify that because I was watching the ball, but she rounded second as if she was headed that way. Then she hesitated and then looked at the coach. But anyway, it's water under the bridge. When in doubt, you stop.
When in doubt, you stop.
And AJ's coming to the plate. Let's see if she can make them pay here with a long solo home run to center field or something like that.
Yep, quick 2 outs. It's going to be 2-0 quick there. Good Johnson.
Excuse me. So again, it's a long ball game. Hard to think second play of the game would
popped up. Coming out of play. What's your head over here? Ooh, about to hit a lady walking behind the bleachers.
Maybe won't have too big of an impact on us. Depends on what happens here, whether the runner would have been at second or third.
Two 2-1 to Aniston. It's going to be high changeup. She's going to chase it, and it's going to be in play to the first baseman, and she's going to make a basket catch to end the inning.
3 up, 3 down.
Raiders going to go quiet, even though we had a base hit into right field off the wall.
So we quickly go, again, 3 up, 3 down there. We're going to head to the top. Oh, boy, I already messed it up. I usually do that 2 or 3 times. Bottom of the first inning as score 0-0 early here in Game 2 as Raiders did take Game 1. And we're going to take a quick break on our sponsors. We'll be back in a second.
first. Peyton Ward up for the Lady Gamecocks to start the game for them. Look like she's about to slap bunch. She takes it all the way.
New pitcher on the mound for the Lady Raiders. That's Taz Whitley. She's coming from second base to the mound, and that puts Strozier. I'm sorry. That puts Diamond Edwards at second. Strozier at third. Johnson at short. Durrance at first, and Snell behind the plate, with Adams in left, Hodges in center, and Clement in right field. And man, did our left side of the field defensively play lights out, especially the center fielder, and Sadie Adams made about 7 or 8 outs on her own.
It's going to be swung on, pop to Ashley, and she's going to make an easy play. First out of the game for us. We'll take those if they give them to us. Malaya Atkins up now for Lady Raiders, or excuse me, the Lady Gamecocks. Actually had 1 hit in the first game, 1 for 3. Looked like she was about to squirt a bunt there. May see one here late. Nope, it's going to be outside.
You'll notice Taz has a little bit more. She'll pop the mitt just a little bit more than Harper. She relies on her placement. But when Taz is on, she's got some good stuff too. There's a changeup on the inside. It's close.
2-0. The pitch is going to be outside.
That's a good-looking pitch. The umpire was just on the wrong side of the plate when he was trying to look. When his head is nearly off the hip of the batter and the ball's on that over the corner on the outside, I'm not sure how he can make the call.
We'll be okay if she stays out there. That's another good pitch. It's going to be a strike.
The same pitch, but the fact that it was on that 0-3 count, typically the umpire is a little bit more liberal. I'd like to see another pitch right there.
That one's a little high. Strike. Don't run it full.
I'm not sure. It's hard. It really is kind of hard for us to tell the height of these pitches. It was about a waist high, which is in the strike zone because the glove wasn't above the catcher's head is what I'm kind of judging it off of. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Oh, and she comes back just a little inside and loses her there. With 1 out, we got a base runner. And I wouldn't. Aubrey said something between games earlier that I gotta believe is going to be true. This coach is probably down 1 game now, knowing that they only got a couple hits the first game. They're going to push the issue here, whether it be bunt or just straight up steals with an opportunity. Snell has a decent arm. She doesn't have a lot of just a cannon, but she's pretty accurate, and that makes up for a lot of velocity too.
If you're going to go down, you got to do it swinging.
There's a strike on that inside corner.
She's in the very front of the plate.
And again, this is their number 1 player, pitcher, and hitter on the ball team. And Coach Poff said she was going to do her best not to allow this young lady to beat us. So you got to think that we're going to try to pitch around her a little bit here. But we went right after her.
Right to the mound. It's going to be another easy out.
And she had 1 hit, just as our number 1 hitter had in the first game, Taz. She had 1 hit late in that game in the 7th inning. Or 6th inning, excuse me.
2 outs with a runner on. 4-hole hitter Maggie Hafer up.
Maybe giving a little advice to her catcher as she comes up to the plate. Maybe she saw something from the pitcher Whitley.
Malaya Atkins on second. Does have some wheels, I noticed from the first game we had. That one's a little outside for a ball.
I still like that pitch. It almost catches the front corner of the plate. Again, where this guy sets up each time is inside where he's looking from. I'm not sure if he'll have an advantage point, be able to make that call at any point.
Got to stay out there. Catcher up the bat.
Oh, there's a strike. She hangs it over the outside corner. Good frame there, which Snell does a fantastic job of doing game in and game out. Framing it, holding it there, letting the umpire really see it.
Gonna be outside. She won't.
And there's a
steal out of nowhere.
And a late throw I don't like. That's just another opportunity for an issue.
kind of took us by surprise there.
Yeah, lulled us to sleep. I told you, though, it's
but that's when you got to steal.
You know, it's not
least expected.
Well, and it doesn't surprise me that he's pushing the buttons here with 2 outs, getting the runner in scoring position from at third, and there's
going to be chop foul. And that's an easy base to take when the third baseman's cheated in like that. You got to forget about that runner over there, though, and go after this girl. 2-2. 2's across the board, actually. Here to the number 88, Maggie Hafer, the catcher. This one swung on and capped foul.
Big shout out to some folks up in Beaufort, Georgia, that's watching us today in Game 1 and now in Game 2. As Jill, Steve, and Joy are cheering the Lady Raiders on all the way up from Beaufort, Georgia.
That was a little low. We'll run it full here.
All right, let's see if we can get an out here. Avoid a run. And it's going to be hit
right to Aniston.
She's going to throw
from her knees and makes the easy play.
A stretch from
Makes
Ashley.
it look easy. Great play.
Another
in the inning.
More great defense from the Lady Raiders, which is what we saw in Game 1, and we expect nothing less in Game 2. We're going to take a quick break, honor our sponsors on the NFHS Network, powered by Play. All right, here we go in the top of the second. Again, don't let that fool you. We are the away team here in Game 2. Top of the second.
Bree Harper, the batter. Durant's on deck.
Harper is the designated hitter this game. As she
personnel.
won Game 1, 2-0.
Oh, count.
And she
right to the mound. She's going to scoop it. Make the easy play for the first out of the inning.
I'm not sure what kind of spin that this young lady is putting on the ball, but our balls aren't doing much. The 2 hardest hit balls was by Zoe. You know, she hit the good hard base hit early in Game 1, and then early in the top of the first, she had that big double to right field. Let's see Ashley. I know she's still pretty mad from taking them off the hip. The later it gets, the more sore that leg's going to get. She took 2 for the team in Game 1.
0-1 off the edge right there. Maybe a little high for second one. 1-1. Canetta still the pitcher. Canetto.
It's a good-looking pitch there. Just that inside corner.
low.
Between games, FCA, local youth ministers for the Fellowship of Christian Athletes that represent that program, had a program between the games for the youth that were here. I looked over and the stands were nearly full. We're talking about probably around 40 kids, maybe closer to 50 that attended that, about a 20-minute program there. My nephew, Mason McClintock, was a part of that. He kind of led some worship there with his guitar and his voice.
Full count. A little inside. They're going to ring her up, though, here. Get the second out of the inning.
And now maybe Ashley's got a little advice for Clement, who's come up to the bat. Had some good at-bats in the first game. Skylar.
Can't leave the bat on the shoulder too much. Got to be swinging here in the second game in the playoffs. Two down here now. Right down the middle. Snagged by Caneto.
Yeah, great defensive play by the pitcher there. They get out of the inning, three down for the Lady Raiders. We don't leave any on, and there's no errors. We're going to head to the bottom of the second. We're going to take another quick break. We'll be back in just a moment. Bottom of the second. Is one of the Beasley girls coming up?
Yep. Right fielder Gigi Beasley. It was 1 for 3 in her first game. Hit the left field. If I'm not mistaken. Taz is going to deal. It's going to be a little bit outside. Ball one. One hit in the last inning for Gamecocks. Swung on and missed.
That was a good pitch by Taz, low in the zone. Maybe took a little off of it. Like a good throw to start with. But a run is in with only one out. Runners in scoring position. And here's Hodges. Now Hodges doesn't have to sacrifice here. She can swing away. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm thinking she's dead to rights. She's out. She's going to be out. But the ball just died right there at the end. And the catcher was unable to make even if she had caught it, it wouldn't have been out. The ball wasn't there. Quickly one strike there. One ball and one strike.
What was that? I forgot to clear it off.
This ball is going to be
shot to first, and she's going to make the play.
Yeah, it's going to be 2 outs now. As the ball, she hits off end of the bat there. But guess what? Who comes up here is Johnson. AJ is due for a little magic right here.
Two outs here. Runners.
See if our bats can't come alive here, Aubrey.
2 runners in scoring position. 4 hits apiece. This one's going to be chopped.
And it's trouble.
It's going to be
CNI
down.
single. 2 runs are going to score.
That'll put us in the lead.
The ball's going into
It's going
outfield.
to be to the
And
wall.
it's all the way to the
actually, and
fence.
That's going to score
Oh, boy.
Aniston.
They have just – the wheels fell off here.
4
It's 5-2
now.
Did you already give us that run? Okay, it was 3. It's 4-2. Raiders tack on 4 here. We're going to have a trip to the mound for the coach. Nothing else to kind of calm these girls down. As just got a little over-aggressive there. But a base hit by Taz and a base hit by AJ to give us a 3-2 lead, and then the overthrow to the fence gives us the additional run, 4-2. Just what a change. What a crowd here we have, too, as I peek out this window. I don't know if I can get the camera here, just show you some down below here. These are the standing room only down here. And toward the left is where you'll see the Screven folks, but I'll come back to the right here, and I think my little things will get in the way to show all of the bleachers here, but it's slam full over here on this Raider side, and which we're glad and proud to see, and we thank you for all of you that are watching from home. And we usually average, if you want to know out there, we average anywhere from 35 to we actually been averaging about 50 to 60 viewers per game at home games, not away games, as we broadcast, live from Lady Raider Field here. And we're very proud of that. Again, we'll average, if we, again, are fortunate to make it to Columbus next week, we'll probably average anywhere from 300 to 500 views per game because, well, it's a 4-hour drive to Columbus.
Bree Harper up now for the Lady Raiders.
Just keep this train rolling with 2 outs.
Try to follow up on that. That one's going to be hit to short. Slow roller.
But I tell you what,
be fielded by Beasley and
I tell you what,
out.
I like that because we're putting the bat on the ball. Now we hit it right to that person, but we're putting the bat on the ball. We didn't hit it that solid in game 1, so that's got to tell this other coach something. Hey, these girls may need something else to look at. I still like this. This girl's got good stuff. I'd almost rather see another pitcher out there. But let's see if Taz can settle in right here and hold this lead to 4-2. Put their fire out right here, and let's move to the next inning and see what happens. Let's take another quick break. Be back in just a moment.